Today's episode is brought to you by Red Can Gems. 5 milligrams THC, 0 grams CBD. For best results, take 2 and wait between 1 and 2 hours.
Nice. Thank you.
Khodor is thriving in his new role as a caregiver to residents of a Nova Scotia long-term care home. He's been on the job in New Glasgow since December.
Alright, here I am coming at you today from a potato camera sitting on top of a yogurt carton. Call me Jamie Rain. So here's another privileged ass white woman here to tell you what's wrong with immigration in Canada. I recently came across an interesting story about a long-term care home in Nova Scotia that is hiring refugees.
Jobs and schools there. So when he found out he had a job offer from a Canadian long-term care home, he jumped at the chance.
I was so happy.
And why are they doing that? Because apparently nobody here wants that job.
The home is trying to deal with a staffing shortage through a recruitment campaign.
So we're not attracting people from Pictou County, Nova Scotia, or even Canada. The role doesn't pay enough, there aren't enough of them, and the workload is too heavy.
So the home isn't exactly attracting people to work at it anymore. I mean, there's jobs, but no one wants to work there. Hey, newsflash, we just came out of a pandemic where thousands of people died. Working conditions in these places. Maybe the problem is that no one wants to work there because they don't pay enough, they don't give enough benefits. Working conditions are not very good, and you don't know if you're gonna come home with COVID or not. Maybe it's reasonable that people don't want to work there, and maybe before you go and hire a bunch of refugees, you should fix your goddamn employment problem.
He emigrated to Nova Scotia just 8 months ago from southern Lebanon. Despite 20 years of working in refugee camps as a trauma nurse and paramedic for organizations like Doctors Without Borders, as a Palestinian refugee, he had no official status in Lebanon.
Working as a trauma nurse and paramedic, and now he's a care assistant at an old folks home.
So when he found out he had a job offer from a Canadian long-term care home, he jumped at the chance.
Of course he freaking would.
I was so happy. I can't imagine in that moment what's happened. Is it really? I'm in dream.
Now, I do not mean to shit on this man and his life. I'm sure he is doing the best he can for his family, and he wants the best life that he can have. He wants to be a contributing citizen to Canada. Don't dump the work on unsuspecting immigrants who don't know anything about your system. Don't dump the work on people who you know will take less money because they are not familiar with how jobs actually work in Canada.
Housing support.
They certainly are making the same wage as a CCA from Nova Scotia, but it is about rebuilding their lives.
Watching.
When we are looking outside of Canada, we need to be able to have pathways and policies that support employers.
I often hear things like, oh no, immigrant families make less money than white people. People of color make less money than white people in this country because they'll take the job for less money. So before you go off and give this job to a refugee for basically slave labor.
Glenhaven Manor made 15 job offers to refugees so far. Khodor Ramlawi is the first to arrive. 4 more people have come to Canada since.
Maybe you should offer people more money and, offer a more balanced lifestyle and a better workload. Or, I don't know, maybe because these refugees are used to a system that works them 50, 60, 70 hours a week in back-breaking labor in the heat, and then they're more than happy to come to Canada and do this. This isn't how we treat people here. This should not be how we treat people here.
When we are looking outside of Canada,
we are looking outside of Canada because no Canadian wants this fucking job. Maybe you should make the job a little more appetizing to Canadians before you trick refugees to coming here.
Town can offer refugees a new home for their families.
Yes, come live in small town Nova Scotia. Spruce up our little city and give us some more ethnic zing, so that we don't have to hire more white people at a better wage and we can keep being shitty employers. You want immigrants to earn a better wage, you want to decrease the wage gap, you want people to have better lives. Your problem isn't finding people, your problem is how you treat people.
That's right. We don't have to fix the problems of working in long-term care homes. Especially in the aftermath of a freaking pandemic. Let's just hire a bunch of dumb, unsuspecting immigrants and get brownie points instead.